All right, welcome back, and this is our finance interview segment on the show this morning. And what are we looking at? We're looking at tackling Southwest insecurity. The federal government on Monday announced that. Okay, sorry about that. The what we'll be looking at this morning, we'll be looking at the statement from the former president of your state, ex-president Olusegun Obasanjo, has said insecurity is one issue common to Nigerians, regardless of tribe, language, religion, location, gender, age, or social position. He noted that without reforming the federating unit, Nigeria would remain insecure, is unstable, unprogressive, stagnated, and at worst disintegrate. Obasanjo spoke on Friday at this year's edition of an annual lecture, and he added that the emphasis should be made on security in Nigeria. I have in the studio Mr. Seye Oyeleye, DJ Dawn Commission. Thank you for coming this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, you agree with me. You believe that the security level in the country is something to look into critically presently because of what we are having. And let's look at even Southwest. Now it's something we record like virtually every day. Now, what is the cost factor for this?
Well, thank you. Security is usually, as I say this all the time, it's not just the purview or the duty of just the government alone. Security is everyone is a security person. Now, the challenges we are having in Nigeria at the moment, not just Southwest Nigeria, is we have a lot of the economic situation in the country. We have massive unemployment, massive youth unemployment, and Nigeria has, they are saying that close to 70% or over 70% of our population is under 35. And if you look at criminality, it's usually along that lines, the 70, the 35 below, you find a lot of them there. Not that the over 35s are not criminals, but the challenge we have at the moment, where we have increased insecurity, is because, as I said, there's so much dysfunction in the system, there's so much dysfunction in the economy, and it's not just Nigeria, across the globe, so many things are happening, and survival. But that does not justify criminality. So when you have that, you have people who wake up in the morning, nowhere to go, nothing to do, and they need to survive. This is a country where we don't even have that safety net that some countries provide for those who are not working. They need to survive, and they then start engaging in different nefarious activities. And now bringing it down to Southwest, we have a massive youth unemployment challenge. So you cannot divorce unemployment from insecurity. Yes, the odd ones or the few ones there might just be out of greed, but you cannot divorce that instinct to survive, that survival instinct that people have from insecurity. So that's one of the reasons that we have this thing, apart from the fact that you can also say that, okay, we have porous borders, so people are the influx of aliens, or I shouldn't call them aliens, influx of other nationality into the country. We have, again, our own challenge here is that we don't have adequate data. We don't know who is who. So next minute you have people from different countries in your city riding Okadas or anything that you can't even trace where they came from. So it's all interlinked. The challenge we are facing is, and it cannot be solved by just one silver bullet, but I'm sure we'll get there.
Okay, let's look at the statement of the ex-president of Nigeria, and that is former president Olusegun Obasanjo. He said without reforming the federating unit, Nigeria would remain insecure. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. I don't disagree. You see, Nigeria, as it's presently constituted, is a country of 200 million odd people. A large country, even if it's not in size, because we're not the largest in size, but in population, we are probably the number 8 or 9 in the world. And we call ourselves a Federal Republic of Nigeria. Look at that word, Federal Republic. Nigeria has about 450 ethnic groups. But at the moment, we have a single policing method, single policing force. So the head of police sits in Abuja, and he wants to dictate how we should police the entire country. Now, in a federal system, it does not work that way. Effective policing starts from the community. That is the essence of community policing. So, when you want to effectively police or your state as an example, most of the police officers usually should come from that vicinity. But when you have a DPO sent in from Portisco to come and be a DPO in Ayeye, he doesn't understand the nuances, the culture of the people. So even if there's crime, the people in Ayeye will be reticent. They don't want to go and report to him because they won't know what side or which side he's on. But going back to what I'm just trying to enunciate and what President Obama just said, we need to restructure the way we do our security architecture in Nigeria. Devolve it. Community policing. Some have argued that we shouldn't have state police because it will be abused by governors, and I don't believe that. I keep saying we have federal police. Is it being abused by Mr. President? Is Mr. President not a Nigerian? If you get my point. So if you are saying we can't have state police, we shouldn't have this type of police, it has to be one size fits all. The policing, the needs in Bauchi is different from the needs in Ikmenidu in Osun State. The policing cannot be the same, if you get my point. So the major challenge we're having at the moment is that our security architecture is too centralized. I'll give you a simple example. Look at UK as an example. UK is a smaller country, population size-wise, and even landmass. But they have different levels of policing. Even in London, they have the state, they have the what's it called, the metropolitan police, they have the city police, they have the transport police. But here we just want to have Nigerian police force, and we believe that is adequate. We are told that the total police population in Nigeria is about 400,000. It's not up to 500,000. For a population of 200 million, that's grossly inadequate to start with. Out of the 500,000, more than at least 30% of them are not even in active policing duties. So, the solution is restructure the way we do our policing. Let us have devolve policing to the states. Some have said, can the states afford it? You'll be surprised that presently, a lot of at least I know that in the Southwest, a lot of our governors spend their security votes on the police. So when people say, security votes, the governors are putting it in their pocket, that's not true. A lot of the security votes goes on policing. They buy the vehicles, buy equipment, buy this, buy that for the police. So we need to reform that and understand that this is a federal republic.
Now let us look at the operations of the police in Nigeria. If you will agree with me, you know that through some people, they've not been having good image because of the way they operate. And now, maybe that's why some people actually are afraid when you're talking about community policing, because they know that he will pays the piper, dictates the tune.
Again, you see, it's the issue. Federal police. Policemen are sent in from all over the country to different parts. Well, they're sent all over the country. So you can send a policeman from, again, let's use an example, from Niger State to come and police in Oritameri. He came from Niger State. He has no roots in your state. But when you start talking of community policing, the recruitment usually is within the vicinity, within the area. So for that policeman, before he misbehaves, people know that policeman. You get my point? He has the roots. They know his father. They know his mother. They can easily trace that person. There is that accountability in community policing. And you see, all over the world, policing has been more effective when it comes from bottom up and not just coming from up, that someone sits in Abuja and then dictates.
Okay. Now let's look at the Amotekun that has been established in the Southwest, and the record of what we've been recording in talking about insecurity since they've started Amotekun. Are we seeing any justifiable reason for having Amotekun in the first place?
I knew you were going to go to the Amotekun question. Amotekun has not fully taken off. We need to understand that. Okay. It hasn't fully taken off. The states, just 2 days ago, I'm sure you must have seen all over the news wire that 4,000 plus graduates applied for Amotekun in the state of Osun. Ekiti, they've just concluded. Ekiti has not even started their own recruiting. Ondo just completed their own recruiting. You see, the reason Amotekun has not been rushed out is very simple. In January, yes, the official launch was done. Then the process of recruiting started. Unfortunately, we had this corona thing that came in end of February and stopped that recruitment process, because by now probably they will have been out on the roads. We will have completed the training, the recruitment and training will have been completed. But there's been that gap over the last 4 months. We couldn't do, but the states, if you've noticed in the last 1 or 2 months, started appointing the commandants for the Amotekun in each of the states. And the process of recruiting has started. Recruitment, training. And training is very important. We will not rush out the Amotekun corps, all because we want people to start seeing them operate, because we need to avoid and make sure we don't repeat the mistakes of the past. This has to be in security service that works properly, that serves the people. And that is why the emphasis that we are laying on training is very big. Very big emphasis we are laying on training. So Amotekun has not started. Yes, you might have seen some skeletal operations in 1 or 2 states, but the full, a few days ago, I was speaking to 1 or 2 of the state commandants on the phone, and yes, the process is ongoing. I'm sure that by the time we get to, today is July, from the timetable of some of the states, by the time they get to September, you start seeing them around all over the place. And I can assure you it will be effective because it will be local.
September. Okay. You can be part of the show by calling the phone number you're seeing on your TV screen to lend your voice concerning what we've been discussing, and the numbers to call 0811 477 841. You can see the number on your TV screen. Just call in and put your own opinion also on what we can hear, so we can listen to what you have on your mind concerning the topic we are discussing. Now we're talking about Amotekun being effective, and you're projecting September. In the past maybe 1 month and plus now, we'd see what has been happening in Akinyele local government, your state here. Shouldn't that be a pointer to making Amotekun, if it's going to be effective, to switch to action immediately?
Yeah, as I said, it's unfortunate that we no one planned no one expected the pandemic that came in suddenly. There was a timetable. We had thought that by April or May, this would have been fully operational. Because as I said, we had to go through proper recruitment process, then proper training. The vehicles are there, the equipment are there. But unfortunately, the moment the pandemic started and all gathering was cancelled, we couldn't gather, then there was no way they could have brought in those recruited for training. That was what delayed it. And to be honest, the states are eager to get them out. I know the governors in the Southwest are eager to get them out there to assist. And don't forget, the job of the Amotekun is to basically complement the work of the existing security services. I said earlier on that the police are trying their best. We can never say they are ineffective. They are not. The police I actually believe they are, under the circumstances they operate, the police have done excellently well, because there are not many. Some of them go 14 hours in a day working. I speak to a lot of them. But Amotekun is coming in as a complementary effort to the existing security, because we don't have enough police. And look at what is happening in Akinyele as an example. If we had proper community policing, I'll tell you, they will have caught the culprits there, because they will be closer to the ground. But if you go to Akinyele, you don't even know whether the policeman or the DPO there speaks the language of the people there. And it's very important, very essential. The problem in Akinyele local government, as an example, cannot be solved from Abuja. So Abuja can say, oh, we are directing. You are directing, but it doesn't mean it's going to be effective. So when the Amotekun Corps people come around, they are going to be locals. They are recruiting locals. So Oyo State Amotekun Corps will recruit people from Oyo State. Very important. Ogun State Amotekun Corps will recruit people who are in Ogun State. Ditto Osun or Ekiti.
Now, with the way the operation of Amotekun is going, is more of being going local. And now it's as if crimes in Nigeria is now going technologically. Now, do we see balancing between local and going technological with this Amotekun Corps also?
Again, as I said, what Amateco is going to be coming up with is, apart from, you will find that they will have those you'll be seeing around who will be.
Sorry, please hold your thoughts. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, good morning. We can hear your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and your location, please.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and your location.
My name is Mary, calling from Benue State.
Okay, please make your point.
The issue of police that we are talking about is for them to really give more expenses to travelers, because the ones down the road now is too much pressure that matching on people now. For instance, now I'm traveling from Warri to Benue State now. You have to go on for 20,000 and travel. And some of here we have families that will even travel with 20,000 naira. What are you going to back to your family? And Papa, this is on the way before coming, and they are specific, they are made guidance. Okay.
Oops.
The road of the party that is from there for one to keep such a daughter is either there will be that kind of collecting money. Are they meant to guide us, or they are meant to destroy our future?
Thank you for making your point. That is Mary from Warri. Now,
There is just
all right, thank you. She was talking about extortion from a police officer. Now, can we bring it down to what we are planning to have in the Southwest Yamotekun?
Yeah.
Are we not going to experience that from them also?
I think I've even answered that question in parts. That is why I said that we are not rushing the Amotekun call to go out there, because we are laying a big emphasis on training. We are saying that the Amotekun people that will be sent out.
But who are the trainers?
Oh yeah, we have people who are training them, who are going to train them. They are ready.
I didn't know those people that trained the Nigerian police.
No.
I didn't know part of those people that were in a Nigerian police.
Well, the police are also helping us in training, but there's something we call the ethics and value training, the Omoluabi part of that training. There's something we call Omoluabi Yoruba land, and our Amotekun call will be inculcated with that Omoluabi values.
Okay, hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay, sorry, we lost that call.
So our own Amotekun people will be trained properly. They will understand the reason why they are out there. That's why we're saying we are recruiting locally. When you recruit locally, you are easily traceable. Contact tracing, if I'm going to use that word. They can easily trace where you came from. And as I said, that ethics and values that we have inculcated into the training manual, it's a major part of it. You must understand why you are there, that you are there to serve the people. So we're not going to start sending them out, and the next thing you're seeing them collecting what's it called now? Money on the road. It won't happen, because the moment you are caught, you are out. The moment you are caught doing that, you are out. And we've put in a lot of safety, or what do I want to call it? A lot of measures in place to ensure that these ones are different. If they are not different, there's no point in setting it up. If you get my point. If they're going to be operating just like the existing security apparatus, then there's no point. There has to be that noticeable difference when they go out on the road, and that's what we are striving for. That's why you've not seen them.
Now, some Nigerians or some people in the Southwest are actually saying that, okay, this Amotekun, is it not going to look like the OPC operations also, whereby they are just going to allege that taking laws into their hands? So is there going to be a proper way of channeling criminals, crimes into the court of law, or making the relationship between the police officers and the Amotekun Corps? Are they just going to take law into their hands? But before that, please can we answer this call? Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yeah, good morning. Your name and your location, please.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and your location.
I'm Nathaniel from Adamawa State.
Okay, please make your point. Please, can you speak up, please?
And to see how we look into this Southwest security issue, four factors. Firstly, we look at the changing government policy. We realize that government policies are always changing. Secondly, is this a medical issue going to last the test of time? And we look at the third factor, the funding, because I believe that in the Southwest, the leadership are always the one will go into office, another person coming in and going away, and the manpower factor. These four factors, I want to look at them critically.
Okay, thank you very much for making.
And I look at the changing government policies. We all are aware that government policies are always unstable. One government may come into power and it may not be continuity in the policies of one government.
All right, thank you very much.
Because a government may come into power and we tell you that it has some kind of become faulting the existing policies that brought the Ameteku into power, into existence.
We appreciate
and
thank you.
You see that it becomes a problem. And on the other angle of legislation of in the Constitution, I believe that anything that is not empowered from the Constitution has that tendency of being scrappled out. I look at that way. That is the way I look at that changing government policy. Then the second one is lasting the test of time. How is this Ameteku in the Southwest going to last the test of time? Going from the things that are surrounding the formation of these people. And the funding, and the third one is the funding. That funding.
All right, thank you so much for that. You were saying something.
Yes. Let me get my thoughts. Even although he mentioned something about how will it
the sustainability.
Number one, don't forget that all the states have enacted laws. So Amotekun is now legal in all the states. So the fear that a governor will come and say, I'm not interested, is not going to happen unless he goes back to the National Assembly, to the State Assembly to try and repeal the law. Secondly, it's a security issue. It is not politics. Politics and security are two different things entirely. There's no governor that will come into power, whatever time he or she comes into power, and will then say, I'm not interested in securing my people. The role of Amotekun is to provide complementary security. And the need for Amotekun will continue to grow, because the more the country becomes developed, the more we need to secure ourselves. And they will also understand that, as I said earlier on, the one-size-fits-all policing will not work. So the fear that a governor will come in and say, I'm not interested, is not going to happen.
Now let's look at the financing of
yes, we're going to get there. You see, again, people talk about financing. Security is not cheap. We know that. At all. It's not cheap. Presently, a lot of states fund their police. And the governors are determined as well to fund Amotekun. They are. So, as I said, when it comes to security issue and you can see what they're doing, for you to attract an investor into your state has to be secure. So, it is in the interest of any governor to invest in security for that foreign investment to come into your country. Look at what's happening in the Northeast today. How many foreign investors want to go to Northeast? Which is a shame, really. That's a fantastic part of the country that's been destroyed by terrorism. So, if your part of the world is not yet ravaged by terrorism, then you need to make sure you have things in place to prevent it coming in.
Okay, what's going to be your final shot on the show this morning?
Well, all I want to say is that security is the purview of everyone. It's not just the task of the government alone. If you notice anything in your area that's untoward, pick up your phone, speak to the police, at least at the moment, speak to the police. When Amotekun comes into operation as well, they're going to have the toll-free number, which will be written and blazoned on all the vehicles. You can call that toll-free number. Let them know. Security should be the concern of everybody. It's not just government. You understand? Governor Seyi Makinde will not be in his house and see the whole of your state. It's not possible. It's what they tell him. So for us to have a secure environment, it is the duty of everybody. And make sure that and ensure that we are secure. So don't just wait, it's the government, it's the government. We are the government. Our representatives are the ones governing, but we are the government. We should be their eyes and their ears.
Thank you very much. And that is a clear call to every one of us that we should be security conscious. I've been speaking with Mr. Seye Oyeleye. He is the DJ Don Commissioner. We're talking about tackling Southwest security. Okay, this is where we'll be wrapping it up on the show this morning. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Oluwagbemiga Olabisi. Enjoy the rest of the day.